Hey yo, what's good? This video is a response to Ghetto Superstar's video, which was a response to Fair Shake Boxing, to Zone 6 and Andrew from the YTBC, other boxing channels. If you don't know them, look them up, subscribe. They're good stuff. They provide good content. They know a lot about the sport. They make good videos. But the video I was responding to is the one that says, is Mayweather, Pacquiao, and Cotto, are they expected to fight Triple G, or should they fight Triple G? And my answer is yes. I've been saying this for years. People have been saying this for years, especially since these guys want to portray themselves as big stars, as legends, as pound for pound kings, as of future Hall of Famers. These guys are the best of this era, regardless of what they do from now on. Mayweather and Pacquiao did not have to fight. It is clear that those guys are the best of this era. Cotto could retire now. He's had a great career. He does not have to fight. These guys do not have to fight another fight in their lives. But the fact that they continue to fight, they're telling us that they want to be great, that they want to be remembered, that of course, they're fighting for the money, but they don't need the money. They won't go broke if they're smart, if they're financially, if they're smart with their finances, which I don't know. You never know with boxers, man. It could be, you see Mayweather spending all this money and then Cotto goes broke for whatever reason, or guys like a Holyfield, great guys. It's just sad to see go bankrupt and lose all this stuff and have them to sell their belts and all that. It's unfortunate, but if you want to fight for your legacy, if you're calling yourself the best ever, or the greatest Puerto Rican fighter of all time, or the greatest Southpaw, the greatest Asian fighter of all time, if you want to be remembered, these guys will be remembered. But will they be talked about as one of the greatest fighters of all time in 50 years? And Ghetto Superstar talked about all these legendary fighters like Henry Armstrong, like a James Toney, like a Sugar Ray Robinson, like a Oscar De La Hoya, who climbed multiple weight classes. Multiple. I'm talking about 30 pounds, 40 pounds, 70 pounds. Ghetto Superstar said that James Toney climbed 70 pounds with this move to heavyweight. He said the heaviest guy he fought was at 230, which is insane. And that's why I love James Toney, man. I fucks with James Toney. Oh, one of my all-time favorite fighters. But yes, if you want to be great, if you want to be an ATG, an all-time great, you do what Sugar Ray Leonard did. You do what Thomas Hearns did. You do what Roberto Duran did. Don't talk to me about where they're too small, because Roberto Duran started his career at 122. That's one guy you didn't mention, Ghetto Superstar, but I got you. He started his career at 122, and he became the greatest lightweight of all time. He is the greatest lightweight of all time. He moved up to welterweight, beat Sugar Ray Sugar Ray Leonard, an undefeated Sugar Ray Leonard. Then moved up to 154. People thought he was done. Beat David Moore. Then moved up to challenge Hagler. And this is why the fight's gotta be made. This is why you can't just speculate on what's gonna happen, because you never know. Tommy Hearns knocked out Duran cold. And Hagler, Tommy Hearns fought Hagler after. But think about this. Duran went 15 rounds with Hagler. And Hagler says that Duran was the best fighter he ever faced. Check the ring. Check the Ring magazine. He said that Roberto Duran is the greatest fighter he has ever faced. So that's crazy. A lightweight, a guy that established himself as the greatest lightweight of all time, gave one of the, or if not the greatest middleweight of all time, his hardest, toughest fight. And then he had one of the greatest fights with Tommy Hearns, but he knocked his ass out bad. That's why these fights gotta be made. We don't know if Triple G would have an easy time with a Cotto. I think he will. Most of people in the boxing world think he will. But that is why you make the fight. This is why you can't be divas. This is why we're so glad, fans are so glad, casual fans are so glad that Mayweather is finally gonna fight Pacquiao. They needed each other for their legacies. It's not about the money. Sure, they're gonna make $100 million each, something crazy, insane like that. Money that I can't even imagine, right? That you and I can't even imagine. That we won't even come close to handling that, even handling that much money in our lives. But it was about their legacy as well. It's about legacy. It's about why would Cotto fight Austin Trout? That was about his legacy. And I hope Cotto fights him. Especially, I think Cotto I give less of a pass than Mayweather and Pacquiao because he's a middleweight now. He has the WBC title. Like he has a green belt. He's the lineal champion of the middleweight division. So it is expected for you to fight the best in the middleweight division. See, Cotto stepped up to middleweight already, and he beat the guy at middleweight. Imagine if Mayweather had done that. How much hype he would have gone. How much people saying he's the greatest of all time. Cotto did that. And I bet Mayweather was kicking himself in the butt after watching that fight. He's like, shit, man. That could have been me. I could have been middleweight champion. He would have been a six division champ, dude. He might have even knocked him out. He wasn't in any conditions to go 12 rounds. Especially not with a guy like Cotto that was pursuing his ass the whole time. But Mayweather probably could have beat him too. And he could have established his legacy. And nobody would have expected him to fight Gennady Golovkin. He could have retired after that. People would have had him on their all-time top 10, like if Roy Jones had retired when he beat John Reeves as a heavyweight. But then he got knocked the fuck out, and that's what people are scared of, you know. But like I said, that's why the fight's gotta be made to prove your greatness. I think Mayweather will get demolished by Gennady Golovkin. I think Pacquiao will get destroyed. Damn. Heck, I think Cotto would be the bloodiest, but Pacquiao would take a massive beating too. Oh man, that would be brutal. But if these guys, you're calling yourselves TBE and all this stuff, and it's for your legacy. It's for your legacy. Challenge yourself to face the middleweights. Cotto has already, but you have a title, Cotto. Either relinquish it or fight Triple G. Because I don't, or Canelo at least, but I don't think any other legit middleweight. I don't think Cotto could beat any other legit middleweight. I think Lemieux beats him. I think Andy Lee beats him. I think Peter Quillen beats him. But I think Stevens would lay him out too. I think Stevens would lay his ass out bad. But this is why you fight the fights, man, right? Because for your legacy. And I do believe that these guys should fight Triple G. Triple G is the best middleweight in the world. And there's not much left. There wasn't anything really left for Mayweather or Pacquiao to do at welterweight besides fight each other. I mean, Mayweather stepped up at super to junior middleweight to fight Canelo in a lucrative fight. But that was just like a stop thing, like a one-time thing like he did with De La Hoya. But a Triple G fight wouldn't be a big lucrative fight like those fights, like a De La Hoya or a Canelo fight. But it would enhance his legacy so much more. Even if you guys lose, your legacy is intact, and it'll show volumes for you guys. For these guys saying that the divas of the sports today, I'm one of them. There's a lot of divas in this sport. These three guys included, the biggest divas, and they're the reason for creating other divas in the sport today. But imagine if any of them fought Triple G, how much that would do for their legacy. It would increase their legacy volumes. It would speak volumes for their heart and their determination. And this is why people rate guys like Muhammad Ali and the Roberto Duran, and these guys as all-time greats, as the greatest of all times, as GOATs, because they weren't afraid to lose. They fought each other. They fought everybody that they possibly could have fought. And some of their losses even increased their legacies. Yeah, Roberto Duran quit against Sugar Ray Leonard, but he still had a full-on career after that fight. He lasted longer than Leonard did. He fought way more after that than Sugar Ray Leonard did. Yeah, he got knocked out by Tommy Hearns, but then he knocked out Davey Moore. I think Davey Moore fight was before that. I think it probably was, but he knocked out Davey Moore. But then he moved up to middleweight. Oh, I love Roberto Duran. He's my favorite fighter of all time. But he established his legacy. He moved up against the best. He fought Marvin Hagler, the greatest middleweight of all time. And he lost, but he went 15 rounds. Imagine if Mayweather or Pacquiao or Cotto goes 12 hard rounds with Triple G. 12 rounds. Can you imagine that? How much props these guys would get? And that wouldn't hurt their legacy. It could only enhance it. A loss could possibly help Mayweather's legacy more than anything. Sometimes looking human is the best part of someone's legacy, like Muhammad Ali when he lost to Joe Frazier, and you could redeem your losses. That's what's great about fighters fighting everybody. If you lose, do a rematch and you could redeem it. So yes, these guys should fight Triple G, and they should be expected to fight Triple G, because it is double standard. Because I'm not expecting Keith Thurman to fight Triple G, or a Sean Porter, or these other welterweight guys, Amir Khan, whatever. I'm not expecting any of them to fight Triple G, but I don't hold them in the same light as I do Mayweather, Cotto, and Pacquiao. I don't view them as future Hall of Famers. I don't view them as legends like these guys. That is why people expect more of you, because they respect you and they view you as legendary fighters that should be living up to your full potentials. All right, guys. Hey, thanks for listening. Give your opinion. Please comment below. What do you think? Should these fighters be expected to fight, to move up to middleweight and fight? And if Cotto has a middleweight title, shouldn't he be fighting the best middleweights? And wouldn't he want to unify the belts for his legacy and for the money? Because he's the Canelo, so he's obviously doesn't care much about money. So, yeah, give your thoughts and rate this video thumbs up or thumbs down. Please comment below. I want to hear your guys' thoughts always. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Peace.